Okay, so I am live. And hello everybody. And I think I'm here by myself for a little bit till Sarah gets here. Like I say, Blacky might show up in a little bit. We'll see. You've been crying and your makeup's all messed up. Oh no. I got wet hair because I just showered, so my hair's all wet. But so I am here. And hello, cat, and hello, grasshopper. And grasshoppers with the messed up makeup. And I know I saw Mojo, but he probably just stopped by and said hi and left. But hello if you're still here. Let's see, I don't see anybody but Grasshopper and Cat. Oh, Frank stopped in. And Patty and James H. And if anybody wants to come join me, they're sure more than welcome while I wait for somebody to get here. Because I'm kind of scary when I'm all by myself. Oh, dog. Okay, so I'm going to show you the elk butt. Because we're going to try auctioning it off later after a few people get here. So I'll go ahead and show you, although you know that my webcam doesn't really do anything justice ever. But it is 8 by 10 and it is matted to an 11 by 14. So if you get it, you can just drop it right into a ready-made 11 by 14 frame. And sorry about the glare because I already got it in the plastic sleeve that protects it during shipping and stuff. So, hey TJ. So this is the elk butt. And I am starting a little tiny card. I should have done more little ones for tonight too, but I didn't because I just got busy doing other stuff. But I started one that you probably can't really see what it is yet because I just kind of basically blocked it in. Can anybody tell what this is? 2 points if you guess. Hey, Travis. Can anybody tell what I'm working on? I can tell, but then I know what the lines all mean, so probably nobody else can. Yes, it's a horse. It's a draft horse. Yep, Grasshopper and Cat both guessed. So people coming in, like I say, I'm kind of waiting for Sarah to get here. She's running a little bit late, but she is coming. And I think she's got some little ones to sell tonight if anybody's interested. And I've got the elk butt to sell. And I'm going to work on this horse while I'm in here and see what happens. If I get it done, I might try to sell it, but I doubt if I'll get it done because it's got harness and stuff to do. But I'm doing it in charcoal, so it won't take me forever. But then again, I've got to kind of wait until people are here because I don't want to just leave the chat hanging with me working and nobody doing anything. Nobody talking. Ugh. And what's Bob doing? I don't know. I haven't heard from Bob. I don't think he even saw I sent him a link, but I don't think he even saw it. So yeah. And I sent Ed a link too, but I don't think he saw it. Last I checked, neither one of them had even seen it. So it's okay. We can handle it. I haven't talked to Bob for a couple days, but I think he's doing okay. I've seen him post a couple things. I think Bob has been kind of yeah, Ed hasn't even seen the link, and neither has Bob, so they're both busy. Bob has been working a lot at the Ark, and I think he's got a lot of stuff he's got to catch up to at home when he gets time, like changing all of his water on his tanks and taking care of the mites on the snakes and all that stuff. So I think he's kind of overstretched himself for now, so he probably is not going to be around as much as normal. TJ has a cool playlist of my art. Huh. What are you doing, dog? Yeah, Bob probably won't be around a lot for a while because he's got a lot of work to do. Oh, huh. So, anybody got anything exciting happening? Like I say, I'm kind of waiting for somebody else to join me so I can kind of work and talk at the same time. Or I could tell a story, but I don't know what anybody wants to hear about. I think so, yeah. Yeah. I think so. And if he comes up, if he wants to come up now, I'll try to get him up. Hey, GRB, how you doing? Just kind of waiting for Sarah to show up. And I'm going to go ahead and work on a drawing while I'm talking. And if anybody wants to talk about anything in particular, just let me know. I'm trying to... This is going to be a little bit of a time-consuming drawing because of all the harness. You know, I've done several, like, teams of draft horses before. A couple of them were really big drawings, but they always take so much time because of doing all the harness and buckles and all that stuff. And every time I do one, I always tell myself that that's it. I'm never going to do another one. Never, 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 because it's so labor intensive. And then I'll go to a parade or something and it's like, ooh, draft horses. Because I do love draft horses, but yeah, and then I always end up doing another drawing of them because I just love them. But it's kind of silly because, like I say, all that harness and stuff always takes a while to do. Believe it or not. And then all the leather straps and buckles and lots of times carnations or something braided into their manes. And yeah, they are so gorgeous and I love them to pieces. I mean, I really love doing them, but at the same time, I absolutely hate drawing them. So there you go. Bin collection, always a highlight of your week. Huh, that sounds like just so much fun. I can show you some of my older drawings of draft horses. I used to know a guy when I lived in the Dells that had team of 8 matching strawberry roan Belgians, and that would be in a parade in the Dalles every year. He had it in the parade every year, and so they looked almost white. And then he had a handmade harness that he had made himself for him. That was like black leather, really pretty. And then he always had him like pulling a wagon with either a 6 or 8 horse hitch. And the wagons he made himself too, from scratch, starting with taking his horses out on his property and falling trees and dragging them back to his barn where he had a one-man sawmill set up. And the hubs, I remember he told me the hubs would take like 2 or 3 years to cure before he could like use them to make the wheels. He was a very interesting guy. He was an old Hooterite, which is similar to Amish, but a little bit more prone to using like modern stuff too than the Amish are. But he would make like homemade wagons and sleighs and stuff from scratch, that like horse-drawn sleighs. And he actually made a sleigh for John Wayne at one time. And I remember when I went out to visit him, he told me that when he died and got up to the pearly gates, St. Peter was going to send him back because he had too much work to finish. But he was a really interesting guy. And I'm sure a lot of the skills that he had are, if they aren't lost in time now, they're going to be soon, because there aren't that many people that can still do all that stuff. Like making the wagon wheels and all that stuff from scratch. But I should show you a few of the Kiwi. Hi. I'll show you a couple since I'm kind of boring if I'm just sitting here drawing. I'll show you a couple drawings. Let me find a couple draft horse drawings. Drawings, there's the folder right there. I'll show you some horses, period. We'll skip around and show horses. This is a Conte crate of some rodeo horses that were tied up to the loading chute at the rodeo in the Dalles, Oregon. And it was many years ago, and probably a lot of their harness and stuff is outdated now, but I don't really know. But hang on. Never. Oh, boring. Okay. So let me show you. This is let me try. Let me see if I can find it on my. There it is. Okay, so this is a Conte crayon drawing, and it was a full sheet of handmade bark paper, so that would make it around 16 by 23 or 4, depending on the sheet. Usually about 15 and a half by close to 24. And that is Conte crayon, which is one of the oldest medians that there is. Mediums. It's a lot of drawings in museums be in Conte crayon. I think that the French used it first, if I remember right. But it's kind of like a cross between like a pastel and a crayon. It's like it's a little bit waxy, You can blend it a little bit like a pastel, but not as much as pastel. So it's kind of like halfway in between the two, but it's very old. But anyway, yeah, that's some rodeo horses that were tied to the loading chute on the outside of the arena. And hang on, I'll go back and I'll find another one to show you. Because I do have some horses. Okay. So let me, as soon as I switch, I know it's gonna like just shut off. But I'll find another one here. So have patience with me. Let's see, let's click that. And oh, this is a early that like daybreak at a ranch in Arlington, Oregon. And they're just like quarter horse crosses, nothing special. But it's the old ranch manager like getting the horses saddled up in the morning to go out and round up cows that day. So I'll show you it. Hang on. Hurry up, Sarah. I'm dying here. Everybody's getting bored. Okay, so this is also a Conte crayon, but it was on a board. And I did this drawing to donate to a kind of a fundraiser for a horse sanctuary where they like rescued retired horses from being sent to the glue factory and stuff. And the idea was they sent me a panel to do something on, and then they put all the panel had like was pre-colored and stuff, and then all of the panels went together to form a drawing of a horse. Like if you put them all together from all the different artists, then it formed like a horse in itself too. And then I gave them all the rights for prints and stuff too, so that they could earn some money for the horse sanctuary. So that was that one. Welsh Mountain ponies are so cute. I always had quarter horses when I had horses. I love quarter horses. And I had my quarter horse's name was Holly. And she was really a cool horse. I think I actually have a picture of it. Does anybody want to see a picture of my horse? Let me look real quick. I think I have a picture of her, but actually I'm not sure exactly which folder I put it in, so I might not be able to show you if I don't spot it immediately, because I don't want to bore you while I'm looking. I don't know where I put it. Maybe in miscellaneous photos. If it's not in here, then we just won't worry about it. I'm looking, guys. Hold on. Pictures of a cougar. Oh, there she is. I see her. Okay, I'll show you my horse real quick that I had years and years ago. Like I say, her name was Holly, and she would do anything for me, but she didn't like anybody else to ride her for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, what can you do? Okay. Oh, okay. So this is my horse Holly getting new shoes. My ex-husband that you can't see is holding her head, and that is my farrier whose name was Jim, who was a kick in the pants, but that was my horse Holly. And that is also a picture of her, and that was early in the spring, so she still had somewhat of a shaggy coat. But anyway, yeah, that was my horse. She was a quarter horse. Not real big. She was about 14 hands. And yeah. Okay, now back to drawings. I'll get another drawing going here. Hold on. Those are very old photographs, by the way. That was a lot of years ago. A lot of years ago. I was probably about in my mid to late 30s when I had Holly, or early 40s. So yeah, it was a while ago. It was a while ago. Okay, let's see what other horses we have here. I see a draft horse, but we'll do this one first, and then we'll go to the next one. Okay. So this is a drawing of a colt. It's a charcoal drawing of a young colt. Wow, those look like photographs. Yes, they do, huh? They are photographs. Yay. Okay, this was a 12 by 16 charcoal of a young foal that belonged to a friend of mine. So, like I say, that's just a little charcoal drawing. And this was a fairly big drawing. I named it Mama's Boy. And that is, some friends of mine had some purebred Arabians. And that is an Arabian colt that was about 2 days old, along with his mama. And I did it on this gray paper that had little speckles in it. And kind of the idea was to try, because the mare was like a dapple gray, which a lot of Arabian mares, as they get older, they kind of turn dapple gray. And so I kind of tried to like blend the mare into the background and make her become the background with her little boy in front. And this is one of the draft horses drawings that I said I was going to show you. And it probably took me, it was big, it was like 18 by 24 on a piece of canvas paper. And I probably have at least 100 hours into that drawing. It took me a while. That was one of them that I swore I would never do it again when I finished that one, and I've done it since, so there you go. It didn't stop me, but I said it was going to stop me. It just didn't. That is awesome, Kiwi. So, you guys, give me something to talk about for a little bit. Yeah, we had, each of my kids had a horse. Oh, the first horse we got for the littlest kids, which would have been Tucker and Courtney, who were pretty small at the time. First, we got them a pony, a little pony. And if you've ever had horses, you know ponies are a absolute pain in the ass. The reason being is they're usually smart and stubborn, and because of their size, they're trained by kids. So therefore, yeah, they're usually trouble. But they're good for kids to like get them interested, and then we'd like just like saddle them up, and the kids would ride them, and we'd just like have him on a lead and walk the kids around. Average time for doing the small cards is anywhere from usually, what is this, on a Tuesday? I know, huh? I took Blacky's spot because he wasn't going to be streaming for a couple weeks, so I'm going to do Tuesday nighters for probably this week and next week. But let me see, what was I saying? first horse I got the kids was a little pony, and we would use them like after the county fair and stuff. But we would raise money for the 4-H club by giving pony rides to kids, which is just like putting the kids on a pony and walking them around in a circle around the field and stuff. So he was good for that. But as far as kids just like putting a bridle on them and riding them, no, ponies are usually no good for that because they're little pricks. But I remember when we gave them to him for Christmas, and under the tree we wrapped up bridle and saddle and all that stuff. And then we got the pony onto our ranch the night before, and after the kids went to bed, I went out and like braided the pony's mane and put big red bows in his mane and stuff. He was like all bedazzled out with red bows for Christmas, and the kids were so excited. And then when they were actually got old enough to where they wanted to learn to ride, then we got them an old horse, which is like the best thing in the world to get for kids to learn to ride on, is just an old horse. She was like 22 years old and extremely patient, and the kids couldn't make her gallop for nothing, but they learned a lot riding her. And they would like drop the reins, and she would just stop instantly and just stand still and wait for him to get a hold of the reins again, and then just start walking. The kids would climb on the fence and then jump into the saddle from the fence, and she would stand there just waiting for him. As Skipper can come up too, I'm like boring everybody here. Waiting for Sarah. Sarah is running late, but she is on her way. That's what it says anyway. Sarah will be late, but she's on her way. You can call me a little shit. Okay. So what else are we going to talk about here while we wait? Yeah, Sarah, I think, is going to have some little things to auction. And I've got the elk butt. I know Sarah's work is always so cool. Hey, Honda, how are you? Good to see you. I'm just kind of up here by myself right now. If anybody wants to join me, they are welcome. I don't know. She might be. She might be working on the worm. Oh, I don't remember if I answered Kat. I'm sorry if I already answered you, but how long does it take to do the small cards? It can take anywhere from a little bit over an hour for a real simple one to I've spent as much as like 6 hours on one little card before. But yeah, it totally depends on the subject. I kind of expect this horse is probably going to take me probably 2 to 3 hours with the harness, although some of the harness I'm not going to worry about getting too detailed because it is so small that it would just be silly to try to put every little detail in. But on an average, I would say like 2 to 3 hours average. And some of them just whip out real quick, and some of them just end up taking me forever. And sometimes it surprises me because one that I think is going to be real quick ends up taking me forever. So, I was reading a message, sorry. time went forward, spring forward and fall back. So what was, like right now it's 9:32. Last week would have been 8:32, but now it's 9:32. Thank you. I like my ears. Hi, Noah. Yep, spring forward, fall back. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Dog is trying to get up in my lap, scratching the hell out of my legs. Stay down. Yep. Stelio was a learner's pony. We had another pony for a while that was like a medium size, kind of a large pony, but not big enough to be a horse. And his name was Sammy. And I rode Sammy a lot, but he wasn't big enough for me to get a saddle on him. The kids had like a little bareback pad that they would put on him, but I just rode him bareback. And he was a little snot. And he would like, you could see him while you were riding along. He'd be working his jaw till he got the bit in his teeth. And once he got the bit in his teeth, he would take off on a full run, headed back home again. And then he would run as hard as he could up to the pasture gate and come to a dead stop, which being I was riding bareback, I would usually go flying over his head and hit the gate. He was a pain in the ass. And then the other one that we had at the same time was a small pinto. I forget what his name was, but he had a couple bad habits too. He would, the further away, when you started to get a little ways further away from the house, he would develop a sudden limp, and he would start limping worse and worse the further away from the house you got. And as soon as you turned him around to head for home, all of a sudden his limp was gone. Hi, Aquaballs. That was before I got my horse Holly that I showed you guys. And then when I got Holly, she was like my horse. And Holly was a good horse. I could just we had about a 2-acre pasture with the horses in it. And I would just walk to the gate and hold up Holly's halter, and she would come running and stick her nose in the halter. And I mean, literally, like, people didn't believe me till they saw it, but she would stick her nose in the halter, and then I would get the halter on her and jump on her back and go round up the other horses and get them through the gate for the kids to grab their horses and stuff so we could go for a ride. But Holly, you didn't have to try to catch her. She would just come on a dead run when she saw me. Yeah, you could come up, George. I got nobody here. We're waiting for Sarah's going to be showing up, but she hasn't yet. Yeah, grasshopper. Hi, June. How are you? So, guys, I'll show you what I'm just starting to work on, this little drawing of a horse, which I probably won't finish tonight, but if someone else comes up here, I can work on it. I don't know if you can really see. I'm just kind of starting to lay in some of the details of the harness and stuff. And then I have this one here if anybody's interested, and I'm going to try to sell it tonight, but I'll probably wait till Sarah gets here. It is a colored pencil of an elk butt, and this is a 11 by 14 mat, and the drawing itself is 8 by 10, and it's in colored pencil. The elk butt. And that is it. I got some stuff off in the mail this morning, but not everything because I ran out of money. So part of the money from the elk butt, I sell it tonight, will go to the post office again tomorrow. And I don't know what else to say. We were talking about horses and just kind of waiting for Sarah to get here. I did not see, did you post them on Facebook? I did not see the lizards. I saw some older pictures of your nephews that were adorable. What kind of, oh, I saw one that was like from a pet store or something. I remember seeing one of them. I think that was you that posted that, said something about lizards need love too or something like that. Aquaballs is always grilling. And I know it always makes me hungry too, seeing what he's making. Oh, Emerald Swifts, okay. I'm just trying to think of stuff to talk about. We're on the subject of horses, so I'll tell you about this one ride that we went on with our 4-H group. Now, our 4-H leader, her name was Luann, and she was like an older woman, and she had lived down where in the canyon we lived in. She had lived there all her life, and her grandparents used to own a lot of the land, and they'd slowly sold it off, but they still had a pretty good sized ranch. And she had a ton of horses, and she was a 4-H leader, and really a cool lady. But like I say, she'd grown up there. Well, it was 1976. Yeah, it was a bicentennial year, and there was a wagon train coming through on the old Oregon Trail, and our 4-H group was going to join them and ride with them for one day. So it was going to be an all-day ride. So I made sure, I tried to get myself ready for it, and I rode like every day for 2 or 3 hours. I rode my horse, and I'll tell you what, I wasn't ready for it. I'll tell you that right now. And so the morning that they were camped down in the canyon, and we were up above the canyon, and our 4-H group got together at Luann's house, and we were going to ride down the canyon and join them and join the wagon train. And so we start off, and Luann, instead of getting on the road, she starts heading like down along the edge of a field, and she says, famous last words, she says, "I know a shortcut." Well, I'll tell you right now, if anybody ever says that to you, you run the other way as fast as you can. Because we're riding along the edge of a cliff, and all of a sudden, and Luann's on her horse, and she's looking down over the edge, and she says, "Oh, there it is." And then she just like steps off the edge and disappears. And the rest of us are sitting on their horses, and I'm scared of heights. And I'm like, oh, hell no, she didn't just do that. And we look over the edge, and there was a place for the horse to step onto, down, onto the trail. And then the trail itself was maybe 24 inches wide, hanging off the side of a cliff, looking down on a farm, and there were some people working out in the fields that looked like little ants. That's how high up we were. And when we started down the trail, everybody that was out working in the field stopped and pointed up at us coming down. And yeah. So I was not going to try to ride down the trail. I got off and walked my horse, and I was hugging the side of the cliff, like the rock wall. I was hugging that, and my horse was trying to get her nose in between me and the rock wall because she wanted to hug the rock wall herself. And she was like trying to get her nose in between me and the rocks. And yeah, everybody was laughing at me when I got down because I was like terrified because I'm scared of heights. And yeah, that was like quite the feat for me to make it down that trail. And I just looked at Luann and I told her, I said, I will be getting even with you for this. But yeah, if anybody ever tells you they know a shortcut, run the other way. Run. So anyway, so we got down there and we joined up with the wagon train, which was pretty interesting. The horses we ended up having to kind of drop towards the back because I didn't realize that the horses can smell mules, and if they aren't used to being around mules, they're scared of them. So it's a colt. But yeah, I didn't realize that horses were scared of mules if they hadn't been around them before because they smell different to them. So, and we had a couple horses in our group that were kind of shying a little bit from the mules, so we kind of rode towards the back. But we had a lot of fun visiting with people that were like riding with the wagon train. And we rode with them all day long. And then along about 6 o'clock, we turned around and headed, because we had to ride back too. By the time we got back to where we started, it was dark. But I was so sore when we got back. Oh my God. My legs hurt so much. And I'd keep having to like straighten up my legs in the saddle because my knees were killing me. And when we finally got stopped, I couldn't lift my leg and swing it over the saddle because my leg was just too sore and exhausted. And my ex-husband, he had to like lift my leg and push it off the saddle for me, and then I just like slid off the horse like a sack of potatoes because it was a long ride and I was tired and I hurt. But I remember one of the things that happened on the way back, my oldest daughter Jessica, she had this little white horse, and her cinch came loose. And I was trying to say something because I saw her, she was riding ahead of me and she was pretending, she was like probably 12 or 13. And she was like pretending that she was like a princess in a parade. So she was like riding and waving like she's off to a crowd, and waving. And I could see her saddle start going like that because the cinch came loose and went underneath the horse and she fell off. So when she hit the ground, she started screaming and she gets up and she was like, I'm sorry for laughing because it was my daughter, but she was like running in a circle screaming, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh, but she did get a little bit of road burn on her elbows and stuff from hitting the ground. So we had to tighten her cinch back and get her back up in the saddle. But yeah, it was overall a fun day. But yeah, I still remember that, her running in a circle yelling, I'm paralyzed. Oh my God, I'm paralyzed. Oh, kids can be fun. She's the same daughter that we had a 6-foot round stock tank out in the yard that we'd fill up in the summertime for the kids to use like a swimming pool. And it was like a big metal stock tank. Well, they get a little bit of rough edge where they're like welded together. Like where the seam is can be a little bit scratchy and stuff. So anyway, she came in from outside one time and she was like, oh my God, she was hysterical, crying. And I asked her what was wrong, and it took me a minute to get her calmed down enough to where I could even understand what she was saying. And she was trying to tell me that she had blood poisoning and it was almost up to her heart. So I looked and she had her swimsuit on and she had 2 scratches where she had scratched herself on the side of the pool that had kind of turned kind of purplish colored from the cold water. And she thought she was about ready to die. I went with my sister and the guy helping me tried to throw me over the saddle. Yeah, I've seen that happen more than once. But anyway, yeah, so there was a couple horse stories for you. Anybody want to come up? You're sure welcome to. And I still don't see Sarah yet. George, you're welcome to come up. Anybody want to come up? You sure can. I'm sure I'm like killing everybody with boredom here. Got a message. Let me see if it's one of them. Oh, no, it's my daughter. Huh. Okay. I think he just wanted to touch my butt. Oh my goodness. Hi, Chew. How are you doing? So while we're waiting for Sarah, I'll show you guys my elk butt. And if anybody wants to throw a bid out on it, they can. I'm going to try a $75 bid on it to start with. Because it took me like a couple of days, and I'd hate to sell it for, actually I'd hate to sell it for $75, but I definitely wouldn't want to sell it for less than that. Normally this would be a $300 drawing, but like I say, if you want to throw a bid on it, a starting bid, good starting bid would be $75. And if not, we'll wait a little while for Sarah to get here and we'll try it again. Anybody got another subject they want to talk about while we're waiting for somebody to show up? I'll try to do a little bit more on the horse, but it's kind of hard with trying to watch the chat at the same time as working. Thank you, Kat. These drawings are so small, it's really hard to do something like this. It's got a lot of little fine detail. It's almost impossible to do like the little buckles and stuff because they are so small. So you got to kind of just try to give the impression of them being there and not worry too much about getting all the little details in, because you just aren't going to. It just ain't going to happen. I need a little blender so I can smooth things out, and I don't know where I put it. I've got one here somewhere. A little paper blender for blending charcoal, and I don't know where it is. Oh, I see one of them. Okay. Yep, I am the painter of butts. But this horse I'm doing is not a horse's butt. I almost did a horse's butt, but I decided to shock everybody and do a headshot instead. Are you guys like really surprised? You should be. Do I have a jar of hearts on my desk? Of course. I have the heart of an innocent child in a jar on my desk. And then I have all my hex jars because all my exes live in hexes. Yep, a scared innocent child. The other thing about doing the drawing this small is you got to keep everything super sharp. Because everything, all the detail is so damn small. And I shouldn't be working on it when nobody's here talking, huh? And I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to get here. Anybody? Anybody want to come rescue me? Or anybody want to give me a subject to talk about? I've probably got a story about it. Because I'm old, you know. And old people have a lot of stories about their life and adventures. Sad but true. A whole stream silent and people would still watch. That's kind of scary. I could point the camera down too, huh? What are you barking at? I think that is about where the eye should go. Let me show you guys. Is it starting to look like a horse yet? Almost, but not quite, huh? You should put some makeup on and come up here, Grasshopper. And talk to us. Why don't we have a star emoji? Oh, I don't know how to put one up, huh? If I think about it, I'll put up some more emojis. I'm going to do just a little bit more here and then show you guys and see if you think if it's coming along okay or if I should throw it in the garbage. You made a Mario emoji in Cat's Discord server. Oh. I'm answering something, sorry. Somebody was asking me if the elk was still available. If anybody wants it, you better put a bid in on it. Okay, hang on. I'm going to show you this drawing here in a second. I'm just kind of playing with it. Like I say, I'm not going to be able to put all the detail in on the harness, but just kind of like vaguely give the impression that it's there so that you know it's there. Because some of the detail would be so small that you would never see it. Like all the little buckles and stuff that are just a little fraction. Sarah should be showing up here pretty quick. She said she was going to be late, but she should be showing up. I actually love working with charcoal, but dang, this drawing is so small for this much stuff in it. And we gotta do a little blaze on its face. Okay. Three houses down and 6 to go. Okay, let me show you the drawing that I'm working on so far. It's a little ACEO card. Hang on, let me do a little bit more on the harness here. Don't hit buttons, Pam. Don't hit buttons. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot to put the little silver decoration on that. almost like colored it charcoal without even looking. That would not have been good. I think you might be able to tell it's a horse anyway. Hang on. And I shall throw it up, and we got another rope right there. That's the lead rope. Gotta have the lead rope in there. Okay, I'll show you guys so far. Oh, I should do that little part of the eye right there. I know I keep saying I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you. Just hold on. I want you guys to be able to look at it and be able to tell it's a horse. At least. Hang on. Craig, hi. If anybody wants to come up here and talk while I'm drawing, that would be the most awesome thing in the world, because I know it's like boring the crap out of everybody for me not to be saying anything while I'm just working on a drawing here. And then we've got a little muscle running right there. And do a little bit of blending there. And a little bit there. We got a little blaze going on there. Okay, I'll show you guys so far, although it's not very good yet. Anybody want to see it so far? Hi, Sky. Can you tell what it is yet? The Aquatic Morning Show, hello. Still no Sarah, but she is coming. I promise you, she just sent me a note that she'd be a little bit late. See if I got any more messages from her. Dee Dee, hi. Blacky might, oh, there he is. I was going to say Blacky might show up. He says she's nearly here. That's good because I'm boring everybody to death. Dee Dee, come, yeah, you can come up. I've got the link is up at the top and I'm all by myself right now. And I'm just like drawing and boring everybody half to death. Sarah is having tech issues. Oh no. I don't like this yet, but we still got a ways to go on it. I'm watching for her while I'm working on a little drawing. That's kind of sad right now, but it'll get there. Don't be barking, Scott. Star. Hush. Hush, Star. You don't need to be barking. Those kitties are not going to hurt you a bit. I don't see anybody yet. I'm just working away here, watching for Sarah or anybody. Getting messages. Okay, Blacky. Just mentioning Discord made my phone freeze up. Yeah. It's evil 666 Discord. Okay. Why did I try to draw this when it is so damn small? It must be Grasshopper's fault. Because I certainly should have known better. So it couldn't be me. keep thinking I see somebody coming up, but then nothing's there. 1% of the time you don't get caught. Well, that's good. I think I need to do a little bit of white to balance it out. Put some buckles, because horse harnesses need silver buckles. Oh no, I lost something else. I'm so disorganized. Okay. Saving screenshots on the accident here. Uh-ohs. Huh. Very odd. I lost something. What did I do here? Oh, I see Sarah. Are you here to save me?
Sure. I've been rushing to get here for it feels like a really long time, but I'm here. I've made it. What did it save me from? Just being on the
Of boring everybody to death.
Also, I don't know if I can save you because
You do.
That's usually my job.
Pam, do you do any more shows at galleries or events? I haven't for a while. I really should be doing the shows more, but I kind of need to get some bigger stuff done for that. I have a gallery in Montana that's been asking me for stuff, but I haven't done anything for them yet. Maybe I should by this spring get some stuff up to them. And I keep getting notices of shows in my email, but I haven't entered anything for a few years anyways. So yeah, I need to, but I haven't been. I have got I don't even know what all prizes and stuff I've won before because I haven't kept track, and every once in a while I'll remember a different one and go, oh yeah, I remember I won that one time. But it's been a few years since I've really spent any time entering shows. But I have had my work in shows all over the place, so I just haven't done it in a few years. But it is on the list of things to do. So what are we working on tonight, Sarah?
Well, I only just walked in, so I don't know. But what I can maybe show you is after your stream the other day, I did stay and finish those ones that I had. Sorry, my computer.
Yeah.
Sorry, just give me a second because I just need to tell my computer it's allowed to do what it's trying to do. And now that will go away. Okay, I'm going to show you these ones that I did finish.
Okay, let me blow you up.
Okay, my favorites. So I did these skulls.
Oh, I love those. I remember you were working on those, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I did this guy that I said at first I started to not like him.
Yeah.
Then I decided he could get finished after all.
He's cute.
Yeah, he worked out. So this thing's popped up now again in front of my screen, so I actually can't see what's going on. But anyway, so yeah, I wasn't too unhappy. I don't know. When I just started drawing him, I flung him aside and didn't want to do him. But now I'm glad I did, and he was good. And then the other one is this one here.
Oh, that one's awesome.
Wish I could see the pop-up that's popped up on my screen. Is like basically right in the center of the StreamYard screen. It won't let me move it. I'll try now.
Oh
There
no.
we go. But yeah, and you can't see them. I do have pictures of them, but I think from trying before, I don't know that I can actually show them on here. 'Cause, yeah, you can't see them. You know.
It's always hard to show. Hi, Z-Beam. You want to come up with us? We need somebody to talk. Neither one of us is really good at talking a lot.
Yeah. I better.
So
I can
if
sit.
you want to come up, the link is pinned at the top.
Oh. I've got a message from Mikey, but
Is he
it says,
coming?
well, it doesn't say that. It says, remember to show them the vulva.
Oh yeah, you were gonna do that too. You got one handy?
Well, I brought it over the other day. Now, this is just one that I never put up on my shop, and so I've just had it hanging on my wall. And it's just a one, and I don't know if you can see a little bit
Yeah.
there. And they're very cute. My favorite one that I made was a rainbow one. It had like bright yellow fur around the outside, and then it was like all rainbow fabrics. It was really pretty. But yeah, I don't know how much detail you can see, but they were really popular.
Yeah.
So I probably need to make some more, and they're kind of fun to make, and you know, each one, you know, is unique. You just sort of like start, and so it's a little bit like drawing too, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Why keeps interrupting me, this computer? Yeah, so I like doing them, and they were the sort of thing that went really well on Etsy. I think what I was saying is like, if you've got something that heaps of people have, maybe it's harder to sell, but if you've got something that's a bit more unique,
Yeah.
then it might be a good market where it's not like flooded with other things. So yeah, I don't know. Even though they take a good portion of your money, and then PayPal takes a portion of your money and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, I know how that goes. When I was in galleries, I had my work in galleries a lot. You know that a really good quality gallery takes 60%. 60%.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
the smaller galleries will take between 30 and 40%, but the really big time galleries, they take 60.
Most of the galleries over here, and admittedly, like, I don't know about like really big ones, but still quite decent ones, have got at least 30%.
Yeah.
The only places, like the only people I've ever known of who don't take that, there's like a little gallery that I know of in Brisbane where they don't take that much, and their purpose is to try and help to promote, you know, people, but they're very small, so you know.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the issues is that it's hard to earn money if you're not taking commission on the artwork
Yeah.
that you're selling, and that keeps you small. You know, if you want to get bigger, I guess you've got to be earning money on the artwork, and it's just when, I suppose, when you're pricing it to put up in galleries. I find the hardest thing in terms of that sort of thing is that it's just such a big financial investment in the beginning to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get your work framed and potentially transporting it, and
Yep.
depending, you know, some of them you have to pay to exhibit as well. I mean, some places.
And if you've got shipping, if you got to ship to the gallery, you got to add that in, and yeah.
So
And framing is a huge deal. If you get something professionally framed, that's really a lot of money.
yeah, it's so expensive, and like I can see the value in it. I can see the quality in it when you actually get a piece that's been professionally framed. It's
it's very nice, but holy cow, yeah.
But it's so expensive. It's not something that you know, it'd be really nice to be able to afford to frame a whole lot of pieces and hang them up somewhere. But it's not that simple. It's not like that easy for everyone, maybe.
And then, like, say, I used to do a lot of shows, and you've got entry fees on top of that, and shipping and insurance. And if it doesn't sell, you've got to get it shipped back again. Plus the framing, it's got to be framed nice. And you need, really, to enter the big shows, you need a professional photographer to take pictures of your work, and that costs money too. And yeah.
No, it's huge. You sort of don't, or at least I didn't really think that much about it before I was in the situation to realize it's not just as simple as going, I'll just go and do that. No, it's huge expense.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you had the money in the beginning and you could afford to put up a nice big show and do all of the jazz to get people along to it, then it'd probably be worth it. But yeah, I don't see myself being able to for some significant amount of time.
Yeah, it does take some investment to get going. That is without a doubt.
Well, I did go to the post office today, and I posted out everybody's packages that I had to send.
Oh, good. I got some of mine sent today, but I ran out of money, so I'm hoping to sell the elk butt so that I can send the rest of them tomorrow. But so far, nobody's bid on them, though. So we'll see.
It's a cute butt.
Yeah. So I should have had some smaller stuff done for tonight, because I think smaller stuff is a little bit smarter way to go right now, but I didn't get any done, unfortunately. I'm working on a horse right now, but
A little horse?
a little tiny horse, yes. And it's a pain in the neck because it is so small, trying to get little harness bits drawn on something this small is a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Well, I'm going to try and draw something, but I don't know what it will be. So I just have to start drawing, and then I will find out what's happening.
Yeah.
That's generally how it goes.
I'm trying to do little tiny little detail on a rope, on a lead rope that's like ridiculously little. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself.
I feel like what there needs to be in ones like this, where there's not a lot of talking and a lot of drawing, is a camera that can see the drawing being made.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know. It might just be nonsense trying to get my mind to work. There's a book. Okay. I can maybe try.
Oh, I've got you still up by yourself. I'm sorry.
Nah.
I didn't even mean to do that to you. There's my horse so far.
Oh, sweet. It is tiny.
Yes. Very tiny little bridle and all that shit.
There. Let me see. What have I got here? Then I'm going to open it up in here.
I see Blacky. Should I let him up? You think he's gonna like show us something he shouldn't if I let him up? Can we trust him?
Oh, you never can tell. But it might bring a bit of excitement anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's worth it.
Or it might bring a little bit of humor depending upon.
But I would say yes. Probably.
More likely the humour side of it.
And we'll all have a lovely time.
Oh, bloody put him in the wrong spot, didn't I?
Did ya?
I'm still waiting for her to look.
Oh. Look at that. Right behind your head.
Is anyone getting echo from me, by the way? Technology check first, I guess.
I'm getting echo now.
I'll take that
But
as
that
a
was
yes.
my fault, probably.
Let
I
us
was
try
just,
that.
well, yeah, I thought I would try this out, but I think that what I'm doing is also so tiny that you won't be able to see it. So the joy of being able to watch it be made will be defeated by how titchy and small it is.
How small it is.
Oh, right. That is you. So maybe I don't need headphones. Let's try again.
Yeah. So what did you say I had to do to make it not do that?
I think you've done it. You've muted the microphone.
Oh, I did.
I know on my phone it's pretty crappy too. I can't turn the volume all the way down.
Well, that's what I'm experiencing. So I can hear myself back coming through my phone.
Yeah, right. Put your headphones in the telephone. Oh, they only use wireless ones, do they?
It doesn't have a jack.
Yeah, that's right. Sensible, Apple. Very sensible.
I could like just Bluetooth its sound over to some headphones that no one's wearing.
Yeah, well, that's the same effect. Hello, Cat. Hello, Sky. Hello, Huawei. Who else? I didn't even scroll up. Hello, everyone. Hello, Z-Beam. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Triple C. What was that?
Everyone? But didn't we try to do this thing with the multiple cameras one time on yours and it didn't work, Mikey?
I thought you tried to do it from your. Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, you were at your house, but it was on my stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that was more of a technical thing. First time you tried it and stuff.
Or maybe it was just my internet was a lot crappier there.
Oh, yeah. That could be the kicker. G'day, Trav. Kiwi Mame. How's it? Sound good? Thank you, Sky. Oh, thanks, Huawei too. Kat says she loves your dress, Sarah. It's a pretty nice one.
Well, I like it too. But it's one of those fun ones where I bought it. I like lusted after it for ages, but I have this thing where I look for stuff like secondhand, so like know what I want, but I try and find it secondhand in my size or when the place has like clearance. And like sometimes you miss out on your size or the one you want if you wait for that sort of thing, but otherwise I can't afford things. So I did that and I bought this one, and when I got it, it was too big, and so I was so disappointed because I'd wanted it for ages. But it's actually kind of good because like my sizing goes sort of like up and down. So I've just recently sort of come into the time where I get to wear it for the first time, even though I've had it for a really long time. So it's been really nice.
Huawei brings up a good point, Pam. Maybe bring Sarah's little camera, her drawing. It's probably the same size camera. Make it, what do you call it? Bring
I
her
like
up,
that.
blow her up. That's what it is.
Oh, no, that's not what we want to do.
Buttons.
We want to do this one. And then see if we do this. No, I don't know how to do it.
You just do it.
I'm techno challenged and I don't want myself up. I want this one up.
That's it.
But then I want people there too.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't do that.
Nope, I can't because it just pulls me up and I don't want to do that.
I think only
So
the
I'll
host
just do
can
that.
do the big.
Mama. And
Don't have to stay there very long.
yeah, I mean, it's also
As long
hard because even with this, I just feel like you can't see it enough. If I might be able to move the camera arm a bit better so that it really does go down onto the picture. It's something that I really struggle with. Like I wanted to make all the videos of myself drawing and stuff, but then it's really hard to get that right angle where you can actually make out the detail.
Yep, it is.
without getting it in the way of your face.
Well, yeah, it's got to be in the way of your face a little bit. That's like this. I'm practically resting my face on the phone
All right.
where it is now. But I could get it like better, more in the way, I guess.
It's
I
just
don't know how
practicing
to
it.
do that.
Do it more and you'll find the best spot eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm tempted to play with it, but then I feel like then everyone just has to watch me working it out. Which may be tedious.
Maybe it could almost be worth considering recording instead of streaming. And then you could play the completed video in fast motion on a video later on.
I tried that, but the problem with my drawings is they take too long. So you don't want like a 4-hour video. But then I tried like just doing little bits of it here and there. I'll get it one of these days, get it down to where it's not too bad. But all that stuff is like harder than you think when you go to do it.
What's that? Speeding stuff up.
Yeah.
I find that the speeding up takes a really long time.
Yeah, it does. It does.
How so?
Well, I can only speed up like so much, and then like so I need to do it in batches.
Ah,
to
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
Yeah. And then you gotta like
and then to the next, and then to the next size. And every time you've got to do that, you've got to like get it to where it'll like render and get the video out before you
Yeah.
can then compress it some more. And
yeah.
I've only made short, less than 5-minute videos into faster ones, I think. So yes, I wouldn't have encountered that hurdle yet, like you guys.
guys,
Huawei says, what kind of pen is that, Sarah?
this one is. Hang on, I'm trying. And
Water and fade proof. It's a big claim.
And it's tiny, teeny tiny.
That's 0.03 of a millimeter or a centimeter.
Of a millimeter? Can't be of a millimeter, can it?
Yeah, that's what got me thinking. So it's 0.03 of a centimeter, which is 0.3 of a millimeter.
But then, like, yeah, because I mean, the one that I think of as being fat is 0.8.
Yeah.
But no, because 0.8 of a centimeter.
No, that one's, if it's 0.8, it's definitely measuring of the millimeter.
Yeah, so then this is 0.03, so it must be a measuring of the millimeter as well.
It'd
Do you know what I mean?
It's like 3% of a millimeter. It'd be the width of a hair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Can you see how thick that line is? It's very, very fine. It's as fine as a hair, for sure.
Got to take into account the scale as well, that it looks bigger on the screen than it probably actually is.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Where does the line roll around on the pen?
Oh, look how grubby my fingernails are.
So gross.
Or don't look. What did you say?
I said so gross. I know that's not what you meant. There's a line that goes from the 0.03 and it goes around the pen to what looked like another number. But yeah, don't stop doing that.
Yep, it does. It goes from
03
that
to
number
03.
to that number and to that number. Round and round and round.
Well, I'm so stoked I stopped that process just for that.
I mean, you know, it's not like anything very exciting is happening here, because what is happening, or what has happened, is because I'm now like, I'm all alone and I can hear my voice back in the thing, and the camera's between me and the drawing, and then everyone's actually watching the drawing. So the drawing doesn't know, like the drawing is feeling a little bit embarrassed. It feels like me.
Oh, no.
Take it down. Take it down. It was the fingernails that put her over the edge that day.
Yeah, probably I should clean them out. We can
No,
do
it
that.
just means you're a hard worker.
Oh, I see Z.
Well, I try and like.
Hello.
Hey, dude.
How you going?
Well, thank you.
Nice.
It's like breaking my brain. It's looking good, Pam.
Not really. I don't like it, but
That's still looking good.
Looking good, Sarah.
Were you talking about the delay between your finger wiggles and seeing your finger wiggles?
Yeah, and just the fact that I can look up on the screen there, and yes, and it is delayed, but it's like showing me this, but that like, and I can see, as well as like all the other people. That's fine. I'm used to looking at other people on the screen. But I can see myself on there. I can see my drawing hand on there, and like all simultaneously. And yeah, poor little brain.
So meta.
It's all right. Like if I move it like there, you can't even see it properly anyway. It was just an idea. I thought it might work.
So I went up to
How
my
have you set up the-
sorry, you go, dude.
Have you set up the downward facing camera? Is it on a tripod?
It's on like a bendy arm thing.
Nice. Okay.
It's quite a good little rig. Oh, it's shaking like that as the dog scratching on the floor. That makes the whole table shake. Anyway, it's been a quite good one for setting up since I've had it. It's just that I haven't had the space to do my big drawings, because I wanted to use this to film myself doing the big drawings and then time lapse them and stuff. And I haven't really. And that's because I have no desk space, but the arm itself is really good.
Cool.
Sorry. This is just going to be, I'll probably turn it off soon, because hearing myself talking back just keeps confusing me.
That's probably also cooking your phone. It might be running quite hot. Generally does. StreamYard's nuts for that.
It may be.
Maybe apples don't subject themselves to overheating.
I think when you're using the mobile signal on the phone, it really cooks it. But if it's on Wi-Fi, it's a little bit easier on the phone.
I know mine was roasting when I used to do the double camera on the phone, and I'd get 10 minutes out of it before I was scared that it was going to explode.
Yeah, right.
So anything, my phone has a message. So if it's getting hot, it says it's getting hot.
That's
It says,
right.
I'm getting hot. I'm going to refuse to do anything for you till you cool me down.
G'day, ABC.
Hey, Kenny. You want to come up with us? You are welcome to.
Yeah, I went to my favourite fish store at Tweedheads yesterday to go and try and find some female swords, and he had none.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
But he did say that he's got a couple of clients with ponds full of them, and that if I give him some heads up, he can go and get me some.
Lovely.
So yeah, I might have to get a bunch and maybe even get you some females back if you need female stocking.
Oh, my bowl is full to the brim.
Yeah, but it might be good to bring in some like new blood to like mix up the genetics a little bit.
Yeah, the last time I did that, the female was really gentle and placid. She was gorgeous, but she lasted all of 3 days.
Yeesh.
And then she jumped because the population's too high.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a bit sad. Well, I made myself a real short coffee. It's time for me to get a proper beverage. I'll be back in a sec.
okay.
Right.
Maybe it's a good idea.
Ching.
That's what I meant to do today.
What's that?
Go and look for some more of these pens at the Mullum one.
What are they called? Uniball pin.
Well, they're called uni pen, actually.
They're felt tip, are they, instead of ballpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I familiar with Cloudstream? No, I'm not, Huawei. Do tell. Do tell. What's Cloudstream? Do you know what Cloudstream is, Scungy?
No, I do not.
He says it's the best free movie TV app that he's ever found.
Can we get it here?
If not, probably with a, what do you call it, a VPN?
Yeah. I noticed I was looking at internet things for my mum, and
Huawei says you can
basically,
do it.
okay, because they were like talking about what was metered and unmetered and stuff like that, because she's only got satellite that she can get for her internet, and it's changed a lot since I had it. It's a lot better, but still, they were basically like everything that comes through a VPN has to be metered. So they're like, while there's certain like off-peak times where you can have unmetered usage, and there's certain sites and things you can download and do that are not metered. But if you use VPN, then everything's metered. So basically, you'll only be able to do a little bit through that. Didn't you use all of your stuff?
Yeah. Huawei says you need an Android device and or a Fire Stick anyway, so that scungy out. Not that she needs it.
That is
And
me out.
I got Disney, so I got all the Star Wars I need on Disney. What you been drawing too, lad?
Oh, these are old ones, like crazy jewelry and flag designs. I did it ages ago.
G'day, Scoob Steve. Mojo Lycan. How's it?
You're like just so reassuring having your voice talking.
Well, that's lovely to hear.
I think that Sarah needs to hold up her little ones and see if anybody wants to bid on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah. What's that on? Is that just on paper?
Yeah, it's just on paper. A friend did the line work, and I did the coloring. Some gouache, wet blending.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like a bit of wet blend.
Oh, I see Kenny. I meant to add him to the stream and I muted his mic instead. There we go. Hey, how goes it?
Not too bad, just hanging out.
What you vaping on, Kenny?
Hi, BJ.
What's that?
Mojo, hi.
What you vaping on?
This is Swedish Fish.
Swedish Fish.
I like the lollies.
Yeah.
Nice.
So does it taste like Swedish fish?
It does. I've got a couple different candy flavors. Like this one's Swedish Fish. I've got another one that's called Batch that tastes like Sour Patch Kids. That one's really good. You got another one called Gush that tastes like the Gushers candies.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then what else? I've got like 10 different flavors right now, and then I've got one that tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which is also really good. But
What
it just
brand
makes me
makes that
hungry.
one?
All of the candy flavors are Candy King is the
Yeah.
brand.
Yep.
And then the Cinnamon Toast Crunch is 100.
Okay. I got Beard Vape Company number 5 in mine at the moment. Strawberry. It's supposed to be cheesecake, but it just tastes like strawberries. I don't get much of the cake flavor.
I'm not big on like the strawberry flavors because most of them that I've had just taste like, I don't know, it tastes like fake strawberry, and it's off-putting.
Yeah.
There's some flavors that are like that, like grape flavor should just be called purple because it doesn't really taste like grapes at all, but it has a definite purple flavor. And with coffee creamers and stuff, I don't care for anything that's hazelnut because this sounds weird, but it tastes like perfume to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have a strong disliking for hazelnut. So what's everybody else up to tonight? What are you guys doing?
Well, I need to try to sell a drawing here, and I'm almost done with this little one. I can try to sell it. And I've got a bigger drawing that
Hi, BJ,
I
by
need
the
to
way.
see if
Sorry.
anybody wants, and if they don't, then I'll try again Saturday night probably.
Who held up the last picture for sale?
I don't know. Did you, Sarah, or me, or I think Sarah needs to show hers and call them A, B, and C or whatever, and see if anybody wants to bid on one of them. So I'm going to throw
I'm happy
it
to
off.
show them.
Have you been working on stuff, Kenny?
I'm working on this one. Is it like, can you see it any better? This is what I'm trying to work out through the little camera.
Oh,
This is the guy.
I'm all a mess. Hang on. I'll put you back up. Okay.
It certainly did. It looks better in the smaller camera, even though it's the same size camera.
Because that's where, like, I was wondering if I'd be better off to show these ones if that camera's doing a better job.
Yeah,
so these ones I have switch to it.
Yeah, switch to the other camera and we'll see if you can get it in frame. Remember, it's framed.
I will.
Right.
So I put that up like that. Oh, that looks. Yeah. You can really see the detail there. On that one you're working on.
It's slow, but hopefully once it's there, you can see it better than you can when I hold it up.
Yeah,
then I'll try and just like put these ones on top.
That's awesome. So name them A, B, C, or whatever, and see if anybody wants to throw a bid out on them.
Well,
and if not, we've got Saturday too that we can always do.
That is a little pile of skulls.
The skulls. I love the skulls.
Yeah, the skulls are cool.
And then I have this.
Very cool. Yeah, that, like Trav says, that you get so much more detail through that.
Yes.
Noel has popped a $20 bid on the skulls.
Nice.
So so good. I just posted things today. I can post them more. These guys. I really like the colors on these ones. Because mostly the other little skull piles that I've done with rainbow colors have been like very much just one color per skull, but these ones have a little bit more variation, and it's the first time I've painted them with this new paints that I have. They're not exactly new, but they're the newest ones. Because before I was painting them with a different set.
It's very cute.
I like it.
Another bid.
And $20 on the bird one.
This guy. You know, I love him. I'm very fond of him.
Can you show the similar one as well? The similar one?
Similar? I can find, if I can find it, rather. Oh, sorry, I knocked it.
Always bugs me when I miss saying that the first time.
And then you have to correct yourself.
Yeah, I've still got to do
more
it.
wrong than before. Okay, this is the big one of them, but he's not coloured yet. I don't think he's going to get coloured. I think he's going to stay just like that. Hi, what is it?
Okay, you keep track of the auction, Blacky.
Got it.
Yes, Snuggy puppies.
Between me and Kat, we're all over it.
Okay. Kat is good at that too.
So yeah.
Probably good to have someone backing me up. Sorry, Scungy.
I was just going to say that I have a feeling that a few of these kinds of guys are going to come out. I mean, it's not the same, but even the new one from today is like, has some similarity in the theme in this little face. And that does happen with my art. Like something will start coming and it'll just come out heaps of times and then will stop coming out. But it is really reassuring that you can see them properly on this camera because you usually can't. Oh, now I could show the tiny one. This is the one from the other day that I pulled out of the frame, and I was saying it's just for me. No one else gets it. It's just for me. But I do want to share it because I love it.
What if someone offered you like an exorbitant amount of money for it?
I don't know, a couple of grand. I like think about it, I guess. Otherwise, it's staying here with me.
He's very cute. Or it's very cute.
You just got to keep some, especially. So I have a big emotional attachment to a lot of the drawings that I do, and then I have to send them out into the world. And some of them have been harder than others to like say goodbye to and send away. And so from that, I've learned that there are just some. If I really feel something about them, then I have to keep them. They're meant to be kept by me. They're not meant to be sold to someone else.
Yeah.
That must be the school bus.
That's the thing is our art is a lot. We put a lot of ourselves into it, and sometimes you just don't want it to go bye-bye.
Yeah. No, I love them actually. When I put some, I've had like my first like exhibition of all of my stuff, and I also put a frame there that was like my personal frame, like just my personal collection. I just wanted to put it up alongside the other stuff, but I told them it wasn't for sale and stuff. And then she called me one day and she was like, oh, there's someone here and they really want to buy that one. I was like tossing up, and they said just put a number on it and they'll buy it. And then she was like rushing me and saying like, come on, they're here, they want to know now. And so in the end I put a number on it and I sold it, and I feel like I've regretted it ever since.
Yeah.
I never saw it again.
Mhm.
But they took it with them, and yeah, I don't know. I miss it. Yeah. Should I be keeping these ones up on here? Does everyone still want to look at them? Or should I just keep drawing my other drawing? Or hop down? I love how it like just falls into focus. Yeah, I'm liking this guy.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
tell me.
I've got very few pieces of art left of mine, and the ones that I do have left, I think there's one of them that I don't think I would sell unless somebody offered me the right amount of money for it, because I've got probably, I don't know, maybe 65 hours into working on it. So I put a lot of effort into that painting.
Well, yours got a lot of personal stuff in them too, Kenny. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you've got a lot of yourself into them too, so I can totally see that. It's not just the hours, it's the whole concept and personality that's into it.
Yeah.
But do you feel like emotionally attached to it? Or is it just like invested in it? Because I know there can be a difference in those two, that kind of feeling. Sometimes it's like, no, I've done like so much with this. It may not seem like it to other people, but I know what I've invested in it. And so I'm not going to let it go unless it feels worth it. But then other things feel emotional, like really emotionally attached to, where it doesn't even matter what you put into it as much as that you feel connected to it or something?
Yeah, no,
you know?
I feel like that. Yeah, that piece in particular has a lot of like a lot of my like spiritual journey through life included into the painting and stuff, and
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of other, like, you know, just my experiences in life and everything else all like compiled into that painting and stuff. So
Is
I
that
think
the one
that
that you
gives
showed?
it a whole nother.
Sorry.
Go ahead. What were you saying there?
Is it one that you showed maybe on Pam's stream once before? That was like really big, but then it had lots of really tiny detail bits all through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Me,
I
I
can
sell
show you guys
everything.
again if you want. I've got it down here in my fish room. So.
I sell everything. I'm a complete art whore. Oh. I even sold the drawings of my kids before. Some of them I've given to my kids, but I've sold some of them.
Wow.
I did one of one of my daughters, and she didn't like it. I was going to give it to her, and she didn't like it at all. So I sold it, and then like 6 months after I sold it, she's like, "I think I want it." And I'm like, shit. It's kind of, you're too late on that, because I done did sell it.
Pam, you can put me up real quick if you wanted me to show that.
Okay. Yep. Hang on. Let me get my
sorry,
little mouse over there.
That's rad.
It's very cool.
So my style of painting is I do these acrylic pours, and then I paint or draw over top of them, either stuff that I see in the painting, like I'll highlight stuff in it, or
Yeah.
I'll just draw something completely random over the top of it, like whatever idea I might have.
That's really cool, man.
Very nice.
It's a shame it's not showing up the detail that well. I seem to remember last time you could see it a lot better. Sorry, I keep getting distracted.
Yeah, it's a little bit pixely looking. That is just so awesome.
My signal might be, but I mean, this is what is it? 24 by 16 by 24 or something like that. I forget the size of it. It's one of the standard canvas sizes, but like you can get an idea of like this guy right here. Like,
yeah, tiny.
Get an idea of the size of the detail, and he's got like a cell phone out with the Facebook app open, and he's recording these guys fighting and stuff. And
bum fights.
Just a look at the other one to the left of it. The picture, the second picture there. Oh, yeah, nice.
That's cool.
Sorry about the light. But yeah, this is a tree nymph. It's basically, it was the form was modeled after my wife and stuff. Then I just turned it into a tree with like blossoming flowers and stuff. But then again with this one too, like some of the natural like colors in the pour, I turned into a skull here, and then there's an old man's face here, and some flowers and mushrooms and stuff, and then there's a person here. And
that's just cool.
Little hidden Easter eggs for the viewer. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Thank you.
You still working? You still arting?
Not so much. I mean, I don't have. I've got to make time to do more art, but that's easier said than done. I've got so much going on with like the fish room and
Scungy knows
everything
that
else.
better.
I've got so many fish tanks and stuff. So breeding projects and everything else going on. And then I've got 2 kids and a house and a job, and so
Life gets in the way. Scungy knows that story all too much.
Sure
Yes.
do. And it's hard too because it's not even just going, oh, here, I've got a spare half an hour, I've got a spare hour to stick into some drawing, because it's got to be like all the different factors have to come together to get creative. And so, yeah,
So
when you're very
yeah.
busy, it's really hard to just happen to stumble across that time where all the different things are in place and you can get into that really creative flow state, and no one else wants you.
Yeah,
for
and
anything.
honestly, like when I was working on that type of artwork, a lot of it was done on like the tail ends of acid trips and stuff, and like having a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, there's not much time to do acid. So
not a conducive environment to take acid. We've currently got
not
Nola
very.
on $20 each for the bird and the skulls.
But then I do have some older like pencil drawings and stuff I could show you guys. Grab those.
Yeah. Let's
That's what
see
we're
'em.
here for.
That's what we're here for.
Rah. Skull and birds, or bird and skulls cat? Oh, well, cool. That could be like a record cover.
Oh, let me blow you up. That's pretty cool.
6.
Awesome. That is
This
pretty
is just
cool.
graphite, pencil and
I like the combination of the bones and the flesh.
yeah, kind of just melted together.
I somehow feel the bottom guys are
This
responsible.
one. We've got a Grim Reaper here.
Nice. Getting it done.
I
Is
mean,
that
this one
tattoo?
here, I drew this in 2012, so it's like 11 years old.
Crikey.
Nice.
At 11, that's nuts.
Well, the
2012.
drawing's 11 years old. I wasn't 11.
I thought
I
you were
wasn't
saying
11
you drew
when I
it when you were
drew.
11. Right. Jesus, that would have been impressive. And
Another one.
I was going to say you're very impressive looking 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll be 38 in September.
You're just a kid. I'm going to be
Just a wee
68 in June.
I'll be 40 in June.
40, the big 40.
That's me in June.
40 coming up.
Yeah.
And this is a cool little drawing I did. It's the brain and the right and left hemispheres.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Conceptual.
Like the right hemisphere representing like the artist and creativeness and stuff, and then the left representing the mathematical geometrics and stuff like that. Critical thinking.
What's your day in June, Pam?
The 23rd.
I think that's
So
all I
like
got.
a week after me.
Yeah, Sarah beats you by a week.
What day's your birthday?
I'm the 16th.
Ah, okay.
Mine is September 20th.
Nice. My very good friend is the 25th of September, and I always thought like actually it's different for you guys, isn't it? Anyway, I was gonna say it's a really good time of year to have a birthday, but for you guys, you're like the opposite seasons and stuff to us.
Are we?
So we're in spring in September.
Oh yeah. All right. Now I know what you mean. Gotcha. Pam, you can take me down now, Pam.
Okay. Hi, Divine. Travis, hi. I finished this drawing. Oh, God. Don't do that. So if anybody wants to buy this, you can throw up a bid on it. It's just a little card, so let me see if I can get it to show up better.
I think we can call Sarah's 2 ones sold for $20 a pop to Holly too. Was it Holly? Bloody hell, now I've forgotten.
Nola.
Thank goodness, Nola. Thank goodness Kat's got my back.
I hate how the webcam does not show the detail.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's all like blocked in color, and it's not, but doesn't really show the detail. But anyway, that's it. If anybody wants it, throw out a bid now.
I'm pretty amazed at how you got all that detail nailed at such a small size.
It is real tiny detail, believe me.
Yeah.
Brown nose will get you everywhere. Sure, that's right. That's right.
Kat McKenzie bids $40. I
Oh,
believe that's
very
a
good.
horse.
Thank you, Kat. So we got $40 on the horse.
Crikey, that means I've got to do all the auction work now because Kat's in the bidding.
Yeah.
No, not on this one. These little ones, there's no minimum bid on them. So that's a good bid on him.
No, I'm not, Divine. I was earlier, but I'm not now. I'm just having a cola now because it's too early for a bourbon.
No.
I'm having a Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Nice.
So really, what is that? One of those plastic bottle ones? No, it's a can.
It's a can.
It's a can.
It looked like a really
$20 on the bird and $20 on the skulls from Nola, but I think we called that one sold.
nice and big.
This is all of,
9.5%
I just did this tonight.
alcohol.
That's all the only horse I have right now that I haven't sold. And I just finished it, so.
Come on, Blacky. It's past 4 o'clock. It's whiskey
And we
time.
got a $40 bid from Kat for the draft horse.
Nice.
It is
Yeah, no one went to auction on
1:22 in the
Saturday.
morning here, so it's a
Travis
great
is a
time
fan
for a
of
bourbon.
Voodoo Ranger as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think we've ever seen it down here. This is
Okay,
just
said she was waiting for me to finish it.
Never seen Voodoo Ranger in all
Yeah,
my
I think that-
travels.
Yeah, it's from a New England brewery here in here in the States. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys would have it there.
We get the occasional influx of American beers, but yeah, it's tough on the craft beer scene in Australia. Things come and they go, and it really sucks because they make some really good shit and then bye bye, never to be seen again.
Yep.
See, the thing I
Anyone
like
wanna
best
You gotta
about
just become your own craft brewer.
Could be cool.
now there's an idea.
Oh yeah.
What were you saying, Scungy?
Go to America for a beer tour.
Nah,
No?
no. I was saying I like all the.
I think they have them.
I
Like you can go to you can go to breweries and get samples of different kinds of beers and stuff.
Well, if
And
any of you ever
wineries.
come to New York, I know a lot of nice breweries that have some really good beers.
The best craft beer I've ever had was called Omnipolo, and it was called Bianca, and it was so delicious. I felt like I was cheating on my wife by drinking Bianca, but then I shared Bianca with Emma, so we had a little three-way action. It was delicious.
I tend to go for like the hazy IPAs, and I also like the high ABVs. So like the one I'm drinking now is a 9.5%, and then my second favorite, or like my other go-to, is from a brewery called Omegang, which is in Cooperstown, New York, and they make a beer called Three Philosophers, and it's 11.5%, I believe.
Nice.
It's a triple IPA. It's a real good one.
Sounds great. Yeah, I love my Imperials, especially when they get the strength above the 10. That's when things get serious. That's the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Our cowboy breweries in Australia, though, we've got one called One Drop, and they make some fuck off amazing strong beers. But they cheat. They use lactose and to add sweetness because the yeast doesn't eat it, and using acid, like fruit acids and citric acid and stuff to get the acid content up. Yeah. Another one called Hope. They make one called the Rhino 5 IPAs. That's an 18%er.
Jesus. G'day,
Yeah,
Triple
no.
C. Again?
It's basically
Well, I make
a brandy wine.
I make mead. Are you familiar with what mead is?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I've had
so
friends
I
that
make
made it
my
before.
own. I make my own wildflower mead. So it tastes like it's got like notes of lavender and hibiscus in it, but I use the honey that I've used in the past. I'll soak psilocybin mushrooms in it, and the honey turns blue from the spores from the psilocybin mushrooms, and then I use that to brew the mead.
Oh,
That sounds
you're
pretty
teasing me.
wonderful.
And the last time I made it, it was coming out at 20% alcohol.
Nice. So fresh mushroom infusion, or of course.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Have you heard of butterfly
Can you get
pea?
Honda?
And I don't think so.
So butterfly pea is a native Australian plant. The Chinese are growing it as well. You can get little packets of it off eBay pretty cheaply. But if you make a hot water infusion like a tea with it, it makes a really striking blue color. And the cool thing with butterfly
Okay.
pea is it's got this like inky blue, beautiful natural color that's totally non-toxic. But if you add any acid to it, the blue turns to pink.
Do you mean
Oh.
acid as in LSD or any acidic substance like a
Lemon
litmus
juice,
reaction?
wine juice, yeah, vinegar, whatever, yeah, not LSD. But if you're gonna
Like
make
every
that,
time I've taken acid, things have turned pink too.
so if you're gonna make that that blue juice again, you could incorporate the butterfly PT to get a real good blue color. And that
Butterfly
work.
pea.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I believe it's PEA.
I think that
Yeah,
would,
that's what I was just going to say. I think
does
it's
it have
PEA.
like does it have like a flavor to it, or
Very
what does
subtle.
it taste like?
Very subtle. It's quite
Okay.
enjoyable. Yeah. But it's more about the coloring agent and the fact that it's dichroic. So yeah. You can really do some
I think that'd be
funky-
a cool idea to play on the whole blue honey aspect of using the blue honey to brew the mead in the first place, and then the mead coming out a blue color because of the butterfly pea.
Yeah. Make
It
a
looks
good
like we've got
signature
a
product. Especially
40
if the sorry, Michael.
$40 from Cat for the horse. I don't think it's going any higher.
Yep, I think Kat bought the horse for $40.
We have to carefully balance out the percentages of alcoholic drinks and art conversation. So we were rapidly approaching one of the quotients.
Yeah. With a little sprinkle of acid in there somewhere.
A what?
With the mead, when you're brewing the mead, like what sort of equipment do you need to brew that?
So you could do it in like 5-gallon buckets as long as you have like the gas traps and stuff, and I mean it's really all you need. It's just a bucket to ferment the honey and the mead and the champagne yeast and in it, and then you're gonna filter it all out. So you need cheesecloth and stuff to filter it, but aside from that, it's a pretty easy process.
Fuck yeah.
Is it-
I'm down.
I think was it your channel that I was watching, Kenny, when you were doing your mead? Maybe Scungy, check out. Did you do any mead videos of you brewing your mead?
No, I haven't done any videos of the brewing process or anything like that. My channel is all just strictly about my fish and stuff.
Must have either been some other bearded American or maybe even Hood from WA. He might have done his own mead. It was an interesting video series. And yeah, lots of bits and pieces that you've got to filter out, like you said. So your cheesecloth is essential, so you don't keep passing on the same rubbish.
Well, I haven't known
Yeah.
much about brewing home, except that I got for a birthday once. I got given a big bottle of homebrewed mead along with a fly agaric mushroom that was about like this big as a birthday gift, and that's my closest connection, and that was pretty good. It was pretty good stuff, but
What was the
Yeah.
mushroom?
You know the ones that like your typical fairy tale mushroom. Look, they're also psychedelic.
Amanita.
Mascara.
It's like
Probably
red
probably
with
some species of Amanita flag.
Yeah. Santa Claus.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
That was a nice gift, but yeah, I'm wondering because I know like a lot of things to brew stuff on your own, you can need like quite a bit of bits and pieces to get it going. You know.
Yeah, I mean it all depends on how like sophisticated you want to get with it and stuff, but like you can I forget what they're called. You can use the big glass jars to brew it in with the you need the rubber stoppers to gas off CO2 from the yeast and everything, but you can also do it in big 5-gallon buckets.
I'm like, is there any risk to it going rank?
Probably not with honey in it.
Um,
Isn't honey supposed to be the only food stuff that never goes off?
Yeah, well, I mean, honey on its own is
Yeah, so
high in sugar and
honey's
antibacterial
an
properties.
antibacterial as well. But I suppose if you're doing like homemade wine and stuff, you'd probably go bad. But I mean, part of the fermentation process is culturing bacteria in it anyway, and that's part of the idea.
Mm.
So technically, it is going bad. You can take a jug of orange juice and throw it in a dark closet for a month, and it'll turn into alcohol. But some people would say it's bad.
You might not want to drink it still. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like say, because doing, just even pickling foods or making sauerkrauts, or I mean, I tried to make. So I tried to make my own sourdough starter, but like a gluten-free one because my son couldn't eat gluten. And it kept going to a point where and so obviously that's a similar thing. You're trying to get it to grow bacteria, but you only want it to grow the right bacteria and not the wrong ones, because if it grows the wrong ones, then it's not good anymore. And I eventually gave up because the flowers were so expensive to buy in the first place, and you've got to, like, every day you're chucking away a whole bunch and you keep feeding it to try and get it started. But as soon as it would be like, I'd be like a number of days into it, and then it would grow like a pink. It would get like this pink on it. And I'd be like, it's got the wrong bacteria. So I have to toss it and start again. And in the end, I was like, it wasn't working for me. But yeah, and the same, like if you don't keep all the air out of your like sauerkraut, it can go wrong as well. So it's a similar idea.
So like
yes, you want to get bacteria, but
right, when you're doing home brews, you want to sanitize everything before you start. Otherwise, you're gonna get contaminants and stuff, which could throw everything off. And kill. It'll either go sour or it'll dramatically drop the alcohol percentage and stuff, and give you a funky taste and maybe make you sick. So yeah, it is pretty important to to thoroughly sanitize everything you're going to use to brew first, so you don't get any contaminants.
Reduce your chances of all those other bacterias.
Yeah. During COVID, our local brewery, Stone and Wood, they pushed out a lot of their Pacific Ale to breweries to pubs across Australia, and because of COVID and the lockdowns, they couldn't move the product, so it kind of went a bit foul in the kegs. But Stone and Wood did a thing with the local distillery, and they sent all the kegs of Pacific Ale to the distillery and made a moonshine out of the beer.
Nice. That's
and it
sensible.
was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It was really nice. So,
Pam, did you
That
see
sounds
that
like a
message
better
from Kat?
What was that?
I said, Pam, Kat just wants to check that her PayPal went through.
Yep, I
please.
just looked.
Because one of the there's like a local gin distiller or something, and during
they did
COVID,
it.
they
Yeah.
turned their thing to making
Hand sanitizer.
hand sanitizer, and I
They're
was
still
like,
making it.
I mean, they're still making it.
Yeah, we order it every like 2 months. We get like 6 bottles from them. That stuff
Wow.
is magic. It's
It's
really
funny.
good sanitizer.
Cool.
I reckon it's great how you
I think
can,
my
when
phone
you use
just
that hand sanitizer, you can smell the gin in it. Oh,
yeah.
Pam, put Scungy's drawing on the main screen if the phone comes up before we lose it completely, because she's made great
Yeah, because
progress.
my phone's
Okay, hang on.
Oh,
I gotta get to my buttons without hitting
phone's
the wrong
dead,
one.
so yeah, it's interesting that the
It's
picture's
fun
still
that
there.
it's keeping the picture.
That is awesome, Sarah.
So
Mm,
good.
That's how
Oh,
far
yes.
he
very
got.
nice.
I see the similarities more so now if I lean my head to the left.
Similarities to those other guys. Well, it's that same
Okay.
kind of head. It's that head that wants to happen,
Oh, did I? Where did
No.
where did
That
it
would
go?
which is
because
good because I
her
had
phone
some.
had already died, and so the picture wasn't
Yeah.
going to hang around for very long.
Ah, okay.
I've got this whole bunch. Oh, I wish I could. No, it doesn't matter. Especially now, I can't show anything properly. But yeah, I find it really interesting how different themes or things happen and then pass away again in drawings.
That mini ears divine.
Excuse me one sec.
Thank you, Divine.
Trav, do you mean the one that she just showed before it disappeared off the screen?
She hasn't sold that one yet. I'm not sure if she's like calling it done yet or not. Did she say?
Yeah, I don't think it's finished yet. Yeah, put some dibs on it, Trav. You never know where it's going to go yet. If she's not finished, but keep your eyes out. I'm going to go shake hands with the unemployed.
Well, Kenny, I think brewing's in my future. I got to bite the bullet and get in on in.
Yeah,
Invest
there's
in
a lot of
some-
good sources online too for learning how to get started and everything, and it's a pretty easy process. So
Thank you.
like when I do my my mead, I get the honey from the farmers market, so it comes from local farmers, and it's all wildflower honey and stuff. So that adds to the flavor of the mead and everything. So it's, those are things to think about too.
I've
Where you're
got
sourcing
neighbors-
your ingredients and stuff from.
Yeah, I've got neighbors with 2 hives, so I'm all about that single origin honey. It's amazing when you get to taste honey that's been just sourced from the one hive rather than blended. It's got a real unique flavor.
Yeah.
You can really taste the difference.
It's the only honey to eat.
I'd like to experiment with honey from like cannabis farmers. So like the honey becomes cannabis infused to a certain extent, and see if that has any effects on the mead and everything. Because I know the psilocybin mead, the mushroom mead, when I do that, like just drinking a couple small glasses, you get like the giggly effects you would have from taking a small dose of mushrooms. But if you drink a considerable, like a half of a liter bottle of that mead, you're gonna get a decent mushroom trip off of it, as well as
But in,
Lovely.
being drunk from
terms of
drinking the mead. So
in terms of using the weed, though, because of it needs to bind with a fat and it needs heat. So if you're just brewing it up with like fresh weed, you might not get any effects if you
For the
Might have to cook it
THC, you're
first.
right, Sarah, but for CBD,
Yeah.
you're not.
well,
So
but
it's-
actually it's really interesting because all of that stuff is like knowledge that I have. But when I was a teenager, me and my friends used to eat just like buds
Yeah.
sometimes, and we
Yeah.
still got fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So
For sure.
It gets pretty warm down in your belly once it starts fermenting around and digesting
yeah,
and stuff.
well,
Speaking of
so
which-
in that
Nice.
Crikey, we've gone from a bloody art to an alcohol to a drug stream now. Jesus.
sure.
but
Hang on,
Either
everybody.
cookie
I've got
or
to go.
brown.
I've got to go get my pearls so I can be clutching at them.
Oh, don't get me started. Pearl necklace.
Yeah, Trav's saying about the mead videos everywhere. I just went to look for the mead video that I watched that I found very interesting, and I scrolled through like 300 or more mead videos, making mead videos, and I still didn't find the one that I watched a month or two ago. There's certainly a lot out there talking about mead, so if you want to look into it, type mead into your search engine.
Yeah.
Huawei says this is worse than your channel, Blacky. Probably only because I'm here. I'm here being the old nana
Well,
saying, "Oh, we're talking too much about alcohol, or we're talking too much about drugs." Like that's something I would say.
these are 500 milligram cookies. So
Nice.
Yeah, I did.
I'm
I
gonna
said if you're
eat one of these bad boys and see how it goes.
Yeah, why not? It's nowhere near bedtime yet.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's only 1:46 in the morning. I actually have to be up at probably. I think I got to be up around 6:30 in the morning, so I can get ready for work because I have to be at work at 8.
Yeah, you certainly.
Oh
leaning
Time
in
just
your
kind of
direction.
flew by. I didn't realize it was that late already.
Yeah, this daylight savings nonsense.
I'm pretty sure I'm
That's,
gonna.
that's why the daylight
Pretty sure I'm
savings
still
is
gonna be high
like
when
it's
I get
that
up to
late.
work.
Yeah, we've got ours changes on April 2nd, and yous in America have another. Don't you have separate states change at separate times, or did they line it all up for once?
There's a couple
Yeah,
states that
it's
don't
all
change
it's
at
all
all,
lined up.
but everybody changes, but
Well-
it's still like different. There's still different time zones, but
yeah,
everybody
Congress
changes
just
the
passed
same,
the bill,
except
though.
for the couple states that don't change it, that don't do daylight savings. I think Arizona's one of them, and I think there's one or two other ones, isn't there?
I think there's only two.
Congress just passed a bill to end daylight savings time in the
Oh,
United
please
States.
do.
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors of that too,
Yeah,
but
so
they've
they're-
been saying that for years too, so who knows?
Well, it was.
Arizona
It's
and
my
Hawaii,
understanding
yeah.
it was just passed a couple months ago.
If I ran for politics, that would be my
I'm pretty
only
sure
negative.
this is the
Just
last.
get rid of daylight savings. Piss it
Yeah.
off.
Vote green in
Um,
Australia. We got proponents trying to fully legalize it, and they're talking about $17.5 billion being injected into the economy if we just legalize it, not even taxing it, because we'd be able to grow it, and there'd just be money does grow on trees.
Just so
But at
everyone
the
knows,
moment,
Josh
Travis,
is he's now
you
talking
can
about
leave.
marijuana, not daylight
Yeah.
savings.
green. Yeah.
Oh, really?
You can get it legally in New South Wales if you get a prescription from a doctor, and you can go to our little local pharmacy and pick up all kinds of strains totally legally. And yeah,
And Queensland too.
and Queensland too. Yep.
wait,
it's on.
we should legalize daylight savings time. It's gonna help the
Yeah.
economy if we
No,
legalize daylight savings time.
hang on.
Illegalize that shit.
We should just decriminalise daylight savings time.
No.
Yeah.
We should not decriminalize it. Do not. I don't like daylight savings time.
Well, you were away from the conversation, and we were saying that it should be fucked
Sorry.
off. And
I did
no
just
one
step
should ever
in here,
have to look at it again.
but I feel really passionately. I freaking
That's
don't
nice,
like it.
Okay, I'm going to hold this up one more time in case anybody wants to bid on it. If not, then it'll just either get put away or I'll pull it out maybe Saturday too. But I've got a couple galleries that have been asking me for work too, so I can always send it off. But I'm going to give everybody a chance here. Let me see.
Dear but
I still
Elk
can't
butt. Yep,
Elk
elk
butt.
butt.
focus on the difference between the foreground and the background. How you got that camera focus nailed.
Yeah, and it's really nice because you were saying about not often you doing the backgrounds, and like I like that in a lot of your work, but it really works in this one. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I did it because of the blue and the orange contrast because there was a lot of really warm colors in the elk butt.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the story behind the photo as well, I think is gold. G'day, trash cat.
I think so too. And I just think if that's just like the one shot you happen to get of it looking over its shoulder at you, then
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
it's good. Pretty great.
I'm always finishing everyone's sentences.
So if anybody wants to bid on it, it's a $75 minimum because even that's cheap because it took me over 2 days to do it. so I'm not going to sell it for like $20. So the opening bid on this one is $75 if anybody's interested.
So good.
Yeah, Kat bought a horse drawing.
I'm sure that's right.
Yeah,
Travis.
it would like in a gallery, it's going to be like a $350, depending upon how much commission they want. Might be more than that.
I'm sure when Kat gets her horse too, she's going to be well impressed with the detail compared to how the camera shows it on screen.
Yeah, the camera just doesn't pick up the detail. It kind of blends it all together.
I think that's why when I've done drawings on the art streams in the past and I've showed them and people think they're okay, is because the blurring makes them seem reasonable.
You think
Yeah,
so?
that one. Crikey. You try
Well,
and open
I think I'm
yourself
gonna
up.
hop down because I've got some more stuff to take care of before this cookie kicks in, and I have to lay down.
Nice. Thanks
Safety
for
first.
being here.
Hi, Moose.
Good to see you, Kenny.
Thanks for coming up, Kenny. It's always
good
good to
seeing
see
you
you and always good to see your
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe someday when I get some time to work on some more, I'll show you guys.
For sure.
Yep, you could join us and work
But-
on something.
Yeah,
while
that's
you're
what I reckon you
talking.
should do. Sit
Talk
and
with
draw
that
with
AC.
us on stream one day.
Yep. Yep.
AC's cardstock. Follow Punchy's pattern.
Yeah, well, I started a new job recently, so I work. Well, aside from me having to work tomorrow, that's my second job. But my primary job is I'm working Saturday, Sunday, Monday overnights from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I miss a lot of the weekend and Monday night streams now because I'm working and I can't be on my phone.
Not with that attitude.
Oh.
Well, I always do a Saturday art stream, and you're always welcome to join us on the Saturday art
Yeah.
stream, Kenny. Because I always do a Saturday
well-
night one.
Well, come on or whatever night this is, because it's Wednesday afternoon for me. But
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tuesday night here. Well, it's Wednesday morning actually.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for having me up.
Take it easy, dude.
Stay
Thanks
well.
for coming up.
Later.
1,000 downloads. Jeez, I better pick up my game.
What do you mean?
Good. Well, I've got friends who have cannabis farms. I got friends with bees. I got friends with mushrooms. I got to combine all this shit together and make some crazy brews.
absolutely.
Start writing stuff down. Make a plan.
Oh, yeah. And I think I'm going to get going soon and get to the supermarket and buy myself some fucking Wagyu steak. I'm craving some meat. You nice and cool in your room, Blacky?
Yeah, it's so much better than outside. Jesus Christ, it's nasty out there.
Yeah, wait till Friday. Apparently
Nasty
33
here.
it's going to be.
On Friday,
Yeah, 33 on
It's going to
Friday.
get worse.
Yes, it's going to get worse. And I just want summer to fuck off. It's so
it's not even meant to be fucking summer.
I
But
know.
We're in autumn
also,
already.
Friday's my worst day for hot days. It's when I work at the farm, and it's like it can be really hot days on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, because those days I get aircon.
Yeah.
That's what I say. They're not like the earth is listening, but I'm saying it anyway.
Oh, good day, Moose. That's kind of you to say, but then the compliment is compounded with a laughing, teary face. So I guess it's disturbing, not soothing.
Divine Lover says he does a different form of art. He works with yarn. My oldest daughter actually does some very, very cool things with yarn. I should show a few of them.
It's not penises, is it?
Huh?
It's not.
No. No, that's another daughter. And that
Different
was
daughter.
origami. Oh, dear.
Well,
So she's a creative girl, mixing the media up.
I started trying to like crochet. I never know which one to use.
Crochet.
Crochet.
That's
I
how the
tried
French
to
would say it.
crochet some animals. Right? And stuff.
Oh yeah, crocheted animals based on your drawings would be really cool. I'd really like to
It's just that I'm not real good at it, and so coming up with the patterns, so I end up with like bits, but then some of the bits I can't get them to work. So in the
Right.
end, I've got like piles of like pieces
Yeah.
that I haven't put together. But I just sorry.
Have you ever tried Sculpey?
Yes, I do that a little bit.
Let's see some 3D work, because you can paint up the 3D work and it becomes its own like.
You won't be very impressed. The
beautiful
only ones I've
form.
got sitting here are just like, well, sorry.
That's awesome. Oh shit, yeah. Because yeah, they're cute as.
Isn't that cute?
Oh wow.
That's another one that will require thousands of dollars to get out of Sarah's possession.
Yeah, well, I'm not parting with either of these, but for different reasons. Yeah, I mean, this one, because he's holding a crystal, and the crystal cracked when I baked him. He's got a moonstone on his head.
Yeah, nice.
But this quartz, and like it shouldn't have cracked, so I'm not sure what happened. It did crack anyway.
Pressure
and like I was making some of these kinds of things, but like I did like some jewelry pieces and stuff, and I made some, and then I like electroplated them with copper.
Yeah.
So I did like little foxes and stuff with Herkimer diamond horns, and electroplated them and stuff. I just haven't done them for a while, but I've been saying, because on Pam's like for me it's a Sunday stream, but I don't know, I think what is it, Saturday night or something, and Ed's on there, and he always does all this like sort of sculpture-y stuff, and so I keep thinking, since I've moved I haven't pulled out my Sculpey, and I really want to, so I keep meaning to try and pull it out before one of those streams, because that will motivate me to get started.
Yeah, more Sculpey, especially when you paint the Sculpey, it makes it so much. It's like three-dimensional art. That is where it gets really fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because these are all just like raw, like that's just the color that it is. Although this one was really cool because when it baked, the ends of the ears and stuff, because they were thinner, they baked more. So it got like extra color on the ends of its ears and its like nose and like its tail tip and stuff.
Natural. You can't really got gemstone eyes as well.
Those are just glass.
Right. Glass will handle the heat. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But like, I mean, the moonstone was fine, and I've baked other pieces with quartz in them, and they've been fine because it only bakes at like 130 degrees, maybe.
Yeah.
They're usually fine. That one I just came to and it was cracked, so I don't know what happened with it.
Got a bit of extra cooking. Yeah. And you know, you can always go. You can always go back and Dremel it to get extra details.
Yes, absolutely. And that's like, I've got this stuff. Oh, see, far out. I don't know where all my stuff is since I've moved, because there's this other clay that I like to work in. It's a bit different. No, it's like paper clay. It's like the only thing I've got in reach is like this piece here. It's like, it just dries in the air, and it's tough, and you can sand it and Dremel it and shape it once you make it. And I made like lots of cool little like masks. So I made dolls with masks, like, and you can make really good fake bones out of it because it's the right kind of material. And you can fully Dremel it and everything afterwards as well. And it's harder to get it to hold really good detail. Like the Sculpey, you can fine detail it a lot better.
Yeah.
This one is
it's rough.
much. Yeah, absolutely. But then you can come in afterwards and you can get into it. So yeah.
if you want to get your hands on some really quality inks, because that paper clay is really porous, Games Workshop make a really good range of colors.
Okay.
They're very premium, they're expensive, but you can get some amazing washes from them that really like beautiful colors.
I write that down because look, I've always been in the boat of, in terms of art materials, that like occasionally you get lucky and there's something that's inexpensive and does a good job, but usually you start paying more and you start seeing the difference of having quality materials. So as much as it makes me cry, like all my art materials are really expensive. Like everything that I use. The only thing is I do some of my big paintings with really shit brushes, like the ones that you use in like primary school.
Yeah.
But I use those because if I used expensive, I'm not doing anything fine. That's for when I'm like aggressively shoving the paint around.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I've got a treasured tube of Bo Sonia's iridescent green, and it's so good. It goes on almost clear, but you get this beautiful butterfly wing like metallic green out of it. And they stopped making it like a couple of years after I bought it, and I'm like, damn, this stuff's rare as hen's teeth. I'm saving that for a project.
So yes, a precious thing like that is worth saving. I have some stuff though. So it's an iridescent medium. I think it's made by Winsor and Newton. And it's like a little jar of iridescent medium. And you can mix it into like anything.
Yeah.
And you can use it on its own, but like you can mix that with an ink.
Yep.
And you can so you can in theory, blend a good paint or good ink. You can water it down. You can add however much of this iridescence you want. It's a really cool thing.
Oh yeah.
What's the Sphinx riddle? I'm guessing that's a scungy picture, is it, Moose?
Yeah, okay. Sphinx riddle was the Sphinx riddle? Wasn't that just like the one that I said? I think I know which one that is.
Moose is just saying, is the Sphinx riddle still around? I'm saving up.
Well, like it is. It's this one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
I was trying to remember which one that is. That's right, and he really liked that one too.
When you said the name, I was like, oh, I remember that, and then it took me a second.
You can throw that one up on Saturday's auction unless he wants to bid on it right now.
I think when he said he's saving up, I think that's
saving up.
Work in
Does that
progress.
mean I should put this aside? I have another picture that someone kind of wanted but wasn't ready for, that I've sort of put aside for later, because I also have a thing, and I don't know, but I found it more and more when I was going out and actively selling and meeting lots of people and selling stuff, but I feel like right pictures have to go to right people.
Absolutely.
Sometimes there's just someone who has a connection to something, and sometimes that's more important.
And I've always said that when you don't sell something, it's just because the right person hasn't found it yet. But there is every drawing that you do or painting that you do has someone that it is meant to be for.
Yeah.
G'day, GRB. Yeah, proper pictures have to go to the proper people.
Now that is perfect, Sarah.
It's good though, isn't it? I just, because I needed to drill holes in it and put a notebook on it.
One of these days I'm going to make myself one, because I've been wanting to. I want to make one of those, which that reminds me of those. I want to do one of those Dr. Plague masks.
The
you know what I'm
plague
talking
mask,
about with the big beak and stuff. Yeah, I really want to make one of those. I really want one of those.
Well, I really like the idea of making some like mask pieces, stuff like this, but then I need to paint it, right?
The other one that makes me that reminds me of this Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's like, she's a witch. Did you put that nose and stuff on her? Well, no. Well, yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Oh dear.
I want to do some mask pieces though that have like a moving component. I just don't know if I'm quite up to it. But where you can get a couple of pieces, but then you can have something where you can move bits on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You'll have to study Blacky's Star Wars things and figure out how the pieces move.
Indeed. I always think I have one of my boys is very, I guess, mechanically minded, and not in terms of like he's not interested in like cars and stuff, but he has this really good understanding of how things work. And so I've been like thinking he's the one I need to ask him questions and like trawl through his, what do you reckon if it, because he's really good at it and he can make stuff and make it work and conceptualize, and since he was a little kid, so he's going to be my mask making buddy. He's also interested in making masks, so
Moose says that he might be able to afford it this weekend, so we might maybe throw that, kind of keep that one in mind for Saturday. Because while we're drawing Saturday, we'll sell a couple little ones too.
lovely. Well, I'm back in mindset.
Everyone's running away. Yeah, Pam, I really appreciate your is it A6, those little cardstocks that you do that fit in the slider?
Those ACEO cards, yeah, they're just like they're the size of a baseball card.
Yeah.
That's how big they are, yeah.
I've got some stashed. I'm inspired. I'm gonna get busy and
Oh, awesome.
start throwing up some
Yeah, and then
color.
you can just get on like Amazon or whatever you have there. You can just get the little plastic holders like these.
Yeah, I know what they are. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and it totally protects them. And I mail them all over the place and just inside of a note card, and that plastic doesn't bend or break, so it totally protects them.
Lovely.
And that way they're cheap to send and totally protected. And then I think only a couple people that I know of have actually framed them. Most people just save them like a little collection of them, you know.
Oh, for sure. They fit in the binders too, so you can.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. They do.
Yeah. I've got a contact that can turn art into tiles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we've been doing that as Emma's geometria business, but we haven't got a good customer yet. But getting your art vitreous and baked into tiles is pretty high end.
What's the like?
See you, Moose.
Like cost wise, and because with a lot of things you need to have like a certain amount that you can do to make it financially viable. So with the tiles, is it something that you need to have a certain quantity to?
Yeah, minimum 200 pieces, and it's pretty expensive per piece. So.
Yeah. So you really want to be having some where for them to get to make it
Yeah.
practical to get them made. That's pretty cool though.
It just sent me a message and says, "Oh, I just saw this." I was like, "Oh, well, I'm just about ready to quit, so about ready to shut it down."
You should tell him to come in quick and show us how his hand's going that he was doing the other day.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I should tell him that. Huh?
Money.
Sorry if you were trying to get out, but
Yeah.
I'm super keen on seeing how that hand goes. That looked wicked the other night.
I was like, if I'm honest, my entire social interaction is people at work and my kids. So just getting to sit and chat and hang out is kind of nice.
It's good. It's good for the soul.
Yeah.
Let's see if he sees that. He hasn't read anything yet, but we'll give him a few minutes. He might have just done it on his commented on his way to bed or something.
What time is it where he is?
Where he is, it would be 2:14
Oh, yeah.
a.m.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he should just go sleep.
I don't think Sarah's got the time for that, Divine.
No, that's why she has her cards stuck in the sides of her dresser mirror.
What don't I have time for?
Getting back into crochet.
Well, you never know. I want to be good enough that I can just sit around and do it. I used to do quite a bit of knitting, and I guess when my kids were little, I used to make lots of toys and stuff for them. So at the moment, what I miss is having crafty things like that just on hand that I can pick up, because I'm much happier if every second between whatever I have to do that I'm doing, I can be doing something. Or if I need to be chatting with my kids or sitting alongside something, then I can just be knitting or.
Yeah. I think I just remembered, I'm sorry for kind of interrupting here, but I just remembered one of my favorite things, one of the few times that I ever made Jess Shrimp Granny mad at me.
Yeah.
You remember Jess, Blacky?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, she was crocheting, and she was showing me what she was working on. She was doing it for a friend's wedding for little table decorations, but she was crocheting little shrimp and fish and stuff.
Mhm.
And octopus and all these little tiny things, And I told her that I would love to have some of those because they would be such a cute bathroom decoration and real handy if you ever ran out of toilet paper.
Brutal.
And she didn't say, she wouldn't send me any.
Never to be seen again.
I think she got a little bit irritated with me.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Sarah, you know how you like your fine detail pans?
Yes.
So if you're going to crochet, don't use wool.
No.
Use nicer
I use
thread.
Yeah. So I usually the crocheting I've done, I usually have a cotton, a kind of cotton.
Yeah.
So it's made with lots of different threads of cotton in the
Lovely.
one
Yeah.
bit. I'd pull it out, but far out. I can't. I'd like to think how many, maybe 20 boxes. I have this wall of freaking boxes, and all I want is everything that's in there. That's my heart and life, all my stuff that I make with and everything. And if I pull it down, I could fill my whole house. I could just lay out all those boxes and lay them all out. Then I get worried that, like, it's too much mess. And if someone needs to come to the house, like,
Yeah.
because I rent, so it just like stays there. And yeah, it's like mildly distressing to not have it all in a way where, like, if it was there but I knew where everything was in the boxes, where I could just go and grab it when I needed it. But what I really want is my own house that no one can say that creative mess is mess, because I don't think it's real mess, right? I just want, like, all the tables and desks and everything covered in piles of bits. I want all the bits everywhere. That's not real mess. It's not like gross food scraps and grotty
Yeah.
things, you know? I just want that all in my house, and I want to be free to move from one pile to the next pile and never have to worry about, oh, I need to make that look tidy.
Yeah.
I need to make it look presentable and good for somebody else. I just want it to be free for me to come and go from as I please.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may have
Understandable.
like derailed there a little bit, but
No, I
I
totally.
feel passionately.
No, that's totally
I've
cool.
got so much space compared to most people, but I'm still craving more space. I can't wait to get a nice new shed and just let loose.
Sheds are wonderful.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, I need a new shed.
sheds are the kind of place where people accept more kind of clutter than in a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. 22
And-
years in the one house, all the clutter, it extends everywhere. Constantly collecting new bits and things, and I'm like, hit my limits. I'm having to box stuff up, and I'm like, oh, do I move it on or do I keep it? I don't know. But yeah, it's really handy having, it's effectively a time machine, because you can stash things, and 10 years later you go back and go, wow, I've got this thing that no one can have access to unless I move it on. Oh no, I'm keeping it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I can only imagine, because, like, I moved recently after being at the house I was at for sort of 5 years. And just even going through stuff there, like realizing and going through all my things. So I can't imagine the things that I would not look at for much longer
Yeah.
if I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So there's lots of stuff I have to pull out in order to move it, but if I didn't have to, that could sit there for so long and be such a treasure.
I was worried about my StreamYard limit, but they sent me a thing that says before I started this stream, I had 13 hours and 15 minutes, so that still leaves me,
Just under 10.
yeah, so I'm still good. Even if I'd spend like 3 or 4 hours tonight, I'm still good for Saturday, and then it'll roll over after Saturday again, so I'm good.
I still think Ed's going to be, that message was on his way to bed. He's not coming.
No, I don't think he
I
is.
reckon it's not coming either.
He hasn't even looked at it, so I think he was like
Zonked.
zonked. Yep.
Yeah. And good. It actually hurts me to imagine. It's just because of the way that, like, my life works. If I imagine someone having to stay up until 2 in the morning, it just makes me already feel.
I know, but like I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning last night, so you know.
Like, yeah,
I've always been more of a night person than a day person.
I would like to be. I have to be up so early in the morning to go to work, and having spent like my youngest child just turned 11. And my oldest child is almost 19. So it's been like a long run of, I feel like, going against my natural inclinations and having to be up really, really early. And I would much rather stay up later and sleep through the morning.
My youngest is 24, and my oldest is 45, 46. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, by that point, at least you've had a few years where you don't have any like little kids you have to get up in the morning for. I feel like really sorry for my 11-year-old that I'm like, I'm just tired of getting up early and doing all of the, let's make the school lunch and let's do all the things. I'm like, I try and do it for him, but he misses out a bit.
Yeah. Well, when my youngest was born, my next youngest was 12.
Oh, that's a big gap.
Yeah, that was a bit of a gap.
Yeah, no. I feel like it's a big gap between, I have like 4.5 years between my first and second, and 3 years until my third. So that whole gap altogether is like 7.5 years. So that's not even as big as.
No, I had like see, 3 years gap between my first and second, and then a 6-year gap between my first and second, and then 3 years for the third, and then 12 years for the last one. Something like that.
Congratulations on your sales,
Take me on
ladies.
bed.
Yeah. Congratulations on the sales. I better rock and roll.
Yeah,
Great.
I think it's probably time to go ahead and shut it down. We've been going for 3 hours and 22 minutes, which is a pretty long stream.
That's just a baby compared to
So-
the normal Wednesday afternoon action.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday night, whichever time zone you slot into.
So thank you everybody for coming in, and thank you people for buying art, and thank you Sarah and Blacky and Z-Beam. Thank you, and thank you Kenny wherever you are out there.
Really
And
stoned wherever he is.
thank you Grasshopper and Cat for doing the wonderful modding. And we will see everybody on the art stream. Next art stream is going to be Saturday night.
Congratulations, Kat and Nola, for your wonderful purchases.
Yes, congratulations, guys. And everybody have a great rest of your week. And I'll probably be seeing you around on other streams. And like I say, see you Saturday night. Good night, guys.
See you.
Night. Peace out.
I got to find the buttons. Z, don't cuss yet. Button